So let's start with the Chazon Ish. Right at the end, the beginning of when the country became a state, the state of Israel, they had their first crisis. And here's what happened. They wanted to draft girls into the army. And it was going to be a civil war. They didn't know what to do. So Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion decided there's one person in the country who can make a change here. If I can convince him that we need the girls in the army, I'll get my way. So he made an appointment to visit with the Chazon Ish, who was considered the undisputed leader of the religious world in Eretz Israel. And when Chazon Ish welcomed him, he said, I'm not schooled in diplomacy. How can I help you? So he tells him, Rabbi, we need the girls in the army. We need every able body. Chazon Ish opens up with a Gemara, and he tells him, let me share a Gemara with you from Masechet Sanhedrin. It says there, if there are two wagons, one approaching in one direction, and another wagon approaching in the opposite direction, and it's a narrow road, only one wagon can go. I'll ask you the question that the Chazon Ish asked Prime Minister Ben-Gurion. Who gets the right of way? Which wagon? The wagon that has cargo, or the wagon that has no cargo at all? And so he answered it for him. The Gemara paskins that the wagon that has the cargo gets the right of way. And he goes, it's pretty logical. And he tells him like this. Prime Minister, my camp, the religious camp, is the wagon that has the cargo. What's that cargo? Whoa. That cargo is the Torah and mitzvot that we got 3,000 years ago at Har Sinai. We've never given it up. We've been carrying that cargo for 3,000 years. And we've never, ever forsaken it. And that includes the Mishnah, and the Gemara, and the Rif, and the Rashi, and the Rambam, and everything. You guys abandoned the Torah, so you have no cargo. And as a result, we get the right of way. And we rule that you should not draft the girls into the army. The Prime Minister walked away, and he said, you're right. A couple of days later, he was in the Knesset, and he made a comment to a rabbi named Rav Shlomo Lawrence, who was a Knesset member from the Agudat Yisrael. And I want to just tell you what he said. I was amazed at the brilliance of the Chazon Ish. In my entire life, I never met someone who was so intelligent. I never fathomed that it was possible for a man to get such levels of wisdom. And he abandoned the idea of ever drafting the girls into the army. That's the power of Torah. And to understand that all of us here, are carrying that legacy with us.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.